Wow. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Athletics and Wellness Center on the campus of Earlham College. We bring you doubleheader action here today as the Quakers take on Manchester. We'll have the men's game first, followed by the women's game later this afternoon at around 4 o'clock. The men coming in at 1-15 overall, 0-9 in the conference, and they're fresh off a loss in their last contest as they lost a tough one here at home to Rose-Hulman 79-70. On the other side of the ledger, Manchester at 8-8 overall. They're 5-4 in conference play after losing on the road at Anderson 96-80. Sports Information Director Mitch Blancaspor kind enough to be with us as always on our pregame. And you know, the thing is about the last contest is the Quakers played much better than the score may indicate. I know they lost the contest, but I thought they played pretty well, and they need to put that kind of game together here today in order to do the same thing.
100% agree, Troy. I think one of the big sort of questions has been, why has this team been a little more consistent effort throughout the year? You know, you see them play well and, you know, almost beat Hanover on the road. You know, Hanover second in the conference. And then, you know, played at Manchester, game we like to have back, I think lost by, you know, upper 20s, and Manchester, give them credit, hit a lot of shots early in that contest. And, you know, Manchester only goes about, you know, 6 or 7 deep. They play their starters 30-plus minutes, so you know what you're going to get from them, and looking for a good effort here from Earlham, and this game's winnable for the Quakers.
Back to the same thing, Quakers got to shoot much better. Certainly that is something that has been kind of an Achilles heel for the Quakers this entire season. And it got him again in the last game. If they can shoot into the 40 percentile, they'll be right in this ball game.
Yep, and I agree. That's something that Coach Polikoff, I know you've talked with him every week, and he's just harped on. He's more concerned at this point about getting good shots. Whether they go in or not is a different story.
Yeah.
So I think you look for, you know, Jason, if the team gets good shots and they don't go in and still shoot under 40%, he's going to go away happy. But if they shoot under 40% and they're taking hotly contested shots, you know, shots they shouldn't be taking, they're not in the offense, well, that's a different story.
All right, women play today at 4. Should be another good ball game as the Quakers coming off a tough loss at Rose.
Yeah, definitely. That game at Manchester, I know the Earlham women would like to have back, got down by 23 points early in the third quarter and made a huge run and got down within 5 points. And I know we talked about had they had a couple more minutes, Earlham probably would have won that game. The press was working, turning Manchester over, just dug themselves too big of a hole. I know it, Coach Iden has said before, the margin for both teams, but for the women too, is very slim.
Yeah.
And if you let up a little bit, you know, 4 minutes, all of a sudden you give up 8 points. You got to claw your way back, and they did. Give them credit, down by 23. It's easy to pack the bags in.
Yeah.
They didn't, got down to within 5, and just kind of ran out of time. So it should be a good one.
All right, thanks, Mitch.
Thanks, Troy.
As always, Mitch Blancaspor. You can check out the Earlham website for all the details of today's matchup, both for the matchups here today between Earlham and Manchester, and both the men and the women. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about this Manchester ball club that the Quakers are facing here this afternoon. That is coming up in just a few moments as we continue right here. As always, again, you can follow along in the live stats and much more on GoEarlham.com. And Mitch will keep you updated with the game stats throughout the entire ball game as well. Stay right there as we continue on the New Vision Sports pregame show right here on Radio Troy Digital Sports. If you would like your athlete to take their game to the next level, look no further. New Vision Sports and their staff has over 20 years of experience in coaching and developing the serious-minded athlete. New Vision specializes in improving your basketball skills, overall speed, and agility. Find them on Facebook or Twitter, or give them a call at 765-977-5831. Again, call 765-977-5831, or go to their website at newvisionsports.com.
Injured athletes can be evaluated at Reed Orthopedic Center, 1400 Highland Road in Richmond. Request a same-day or next-day appointment to be evaluated by medical professionals who specialize in strains, sprains, fractures, knee and shoulder injuries, concussions, and other sports-related orthopedic issues. Call 935-8905. That's 935-8905. Or request an appointment online at reedortho.org. Reed Orthopedic Center, 1400 Highland Road in Richmond.
Earlhamites, you don't need to be on the heart to feel close to it. Your Earlham Alumni Council is here to help all of our alumni stay connected, to support students, and to ensure that Earlham is strong for years to come.
take a look at the Manchester Spartans as we get set for this afternoon. We mentioned 8-8 overall. They are 5-4 in conference play, so they're still in the hunt for a possible playoff spot this year in the HCAC, but they've lost their last two after beating Franklin, Rose-Hulman, and Bluffton. They lost a close one at home against Transylvania, 78-74, and then against a very high-scoring Anderson team, they lose that one Wednesday, 96-80. So again, 5-4 coming in. They're led by Adrian Johnson. They go with 5 guys that'll start. They've done that for the first 16 games. Johnson averaging 18.2 points per game. Brady Dolzel is averaging 13.1, and Matt Brown at 10.7. Blake Brower and Chase Castile will be other 2 starters here today. Again, they've started. They'll play the majority of the minutes. Brody Kirby coming off the bench. He averages 7 points per game. And we'll all see Enes Becervic will come in. He's off the bench as well at about 6.7. Those are the main characters today for Manchester. Meanwhile, Talon Alexander's now taken over the scoring lead for the Quakers, averaging at 13.4 points per game. Elijah Wilson-Thomas now 12.6. And Cheney Zolman, who had another nice game, has raised his average to 6.9 points per game. But you look at the biggest number for the Quakers, it is shooting. And we just talked about that moments ago. The Quakers still under 40% as a team. They come into today's contest shooting only .397. Their three-point shooting continues to struggle as well. The Quakers at only .298 coming into today's contest. They're hoping to change all that here this afternoon. We'll come back. Starters coming up in a moment. The tip-off right around the corner as we continue in the New Vision Sports pregame show right here on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
There's a place in Richmond's Depot District that's better than being home. Little Sheba's is a lot like the bar in that 80s TV show where everybody knows your name. Come on down after the game on Fridays and join us for pizza. We're here till 11. Or grab some friends and come play live trivia Thursday nights at 6:30. If you love live music, Little Sheba's features some of the very best every weekend. Where else can you find this kind of variety along with some of the best food and friends in town? Little Sheba's in Richmond's Depot District. It really is better than being home.
Jiffy Lube of Richmond features the Jiffy Lube Signature Service Oil Change. As much as you paid for your vehicle, keep it on the road as long as possible. The Jiffy Lube Signature Service Oil Change is more than an oil change. It's preventative maintenance to keep your car running smoothly. Jiffy Lube, 2993 East Main in Richmond. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 6, and Saturday, 8 to 5.
There are banks that are big, and then there's West End Bank, a bank with big ideas to help people, business, and industry. If you're just starting out on your own and want a new car, West End can help. Maybe it's your first home and you need advice on financing. West End Bank has ideas to help you. West End Bank, helping build better lives and a better community. West End Bank is a community bank with big ideas and home to a distinctive style of banking. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Mancino's Pizza and Grinders, the very best in pizza and grinders. We use only the highest quality meats, cheeses, and vegetables. It's impossible not to taste the difference. Every morning we bake our bread to ensure our customers the freshest sandwiches. Mancino's offers more than grinders. They also have fantastic specialty pizzas and salads. Stop by for lunch, dinner, or after the game. Mancino's, 217 National Road West in Richmond. The taste of quality you expect.
Are you looking for a quality used car you can trust to take you where you want to go? Stop at Tony's Car Sales at 250 National Road West. Tony's has a top-of-the-line selection of low-mileage, one-owner cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs, all handpicked by Mike and Adrian Parker. Tony's is family-owned with 3 generations and 60 years of experience. Check out their selection at Tony'sCarsales.com or at 250 National Road West. Tony's Car Sales, where honesty, quality, and price sell cars. Welcome back once again to the Athletics and Wellness Center. 2 games today, the men, then the women again at around 4 o'clock this afternoon. Let's give you the starters. First off, For the Spartans of Manchester, Adrian Johnson is a 5'11 freshman out of Indianapolis, Indiana. He wears number 0. Chase Castile out of Monrovia, Indiana, 6'6 and a junior. He wears number 4. Blake Brower is a 6'7 junior out of Elkhart. He played his basketball at Elkhart Central. Brower wears number 5. Brady Dozel, 6'5 and a senior from Tipton, Indiana. Brady wears number 15, and Matt Brown is a 6'5 senior out of Hobart. He wears number 22. So it's Johnson, Castile, Brower, Dozel, and Brown for Manchester. Quakers scheduled to go like this afternoon. Elijah Wilson Thomas, the 6'2 sophomore out of Goldsboro, North Carolina. He wears number 5. Isaiah Ware is a 5'10 freshman out of Indianapolis, played his high school basketball at Crispus Attucks. Isaiah wears number 10. Team's leading scorer, Talon Alexander, 6'5 and a senior out of Champaign, Illinois. He wears number 11. Alex Topalovic is a 6'5 freshman out of Belgrade, Serbia. He wears number 24. And Cheney Zolman, the 6'6 freshman out of North Manchester, Indiana. He wears number 31. So again for the Quakers, it's Wilson Thomas, Ware, Alexander, Topalovic, and Zolman. Both teams ready to get this one underway here this afternoon. We're glad to have you with us, no matter where you may be, to catch Quaker basketball. And by the way, today was Alumni Day. They had the alumni game earlier today. They'll be honoring many of those players coming up at halftime, and we'll join our public address announcer for that coming up again at halftime. Had a chance to talk with a couple of the players, Matt Hall, Jamar Wright, and Terrell Brown were stopped by actually earlier here in our broadcast area. Guys who we had a chance to call their games earlier in their careers, and they're all doing exceptionally well. So we'll look forward to seeing some of those players coming up at halftime here this afternoon. Here we go. Quakers will attack left to right. They'll be in their home whites, as Manchester, again, in some of the uglier uniforms you will see in college basketball. They'll be in their dark tops and somewhat gold buttocks and black fronts. So makes no sense to me why they keep designing their uniforms the way they do for Manchester. Quakers basketball, and by the way, one change is Kamari Hunter has been inserted into the starting lineup. Here is Talon Alexander, baseline jumper, good, and the Quakers off to a good start. Boy, Quakers played well early in their matchup against Rolls-Hulman, lost it 79-70. Really had an opportunity at times to win that one down the stretch, just couldn't pull it out as the Quakers lost that one after being blown out by Defiance and Mount St. Joe. 6 on the shot clock. Manchester basketball, Johnson will find Brown in the corner, and he nails it for a 3. So Matt Brown gets on the board. Brown, a 6'5 senior. This Manchester team will certainly be a factor down the stretch as, well, I'll tell you what, Cheney Zolman knocked to the floor. No whistle, as they're going to let him play early in this one. It will stay Earlham basketball, 19 on the shot clock. Entry off now to Kamari. Quakers have done a pretty good job in clock management. It's very rare they let that shot clock run down very far, but now they're back into the half court. Here's Zolman. Zolman, a very talented freshman. Here's Alexander from the top of the key, can't get it to go. And Manchester with a rebound. Here's Dozel. He'll quickly push it across the timeline. Now it's Brower. Quakers want to improve defensively, giving up nearly 78 points per game. The other aspect of that, they're giving up nearly 49% in field goal shooting as well, as now we've got an offensive foul. Dozel picks up the foul. That's his first. And the first foul of the ball game. Quakers trying to get on the winning side of things today in the Heartland Collegiate Athletic Conference. They're not going to make the conference tournament, but they love to be a spoiler the rest of the way. Alexander out front. Here's Ware on the right wing, back to Hunter. Drive down the lane by Hunter. Bucket good. Hunter averaging 6.1 points per game, gets his first 2 of the day. And the Quakers now lead it 4-3. Quakers open up in a zone. They'll see a little man, a little zone. Here's a shot top of the key. Good. And I'll tell you what, Adrian Johnson, he can stroke it. Just a freshman. Second 3 of the ball game now for Manchester. He is out of Fall Creek High School in Indianapolis. And Johnson shooting at about 48% on the season, and from three-point range, 36%. As that jumper's good. Talon Alexander for the Quakers ties this one. Take that back, a 1-point lead. They'll call that a 3-point bucket, so the Quakers now lead at 7-6. Castile works it now to Johnson. 19 on the shot clock. Skip pass on to the left wing. That'll be Dolzel. And they'll be back out to Brower. Good ball movement here by the Spartans. 9 on the shot clock. Fadeaway jumper up and good. That's Brown. Brown with his second basket of the ball game, and the Quakers now down by 1. Ware has been starting over the last couple of ball games for the Quakers. Gets the screen from Topalovic. Here's Alexander, and they'll say no, and an offensive foul, a moving screen, as they will get Cheney Zolman. Zolman picks up his first, team foul number 1. And now Earlham a little 2-2-1 press, and it'll be a light press right now, just kind of slow things down for Manchester. Well, they had wide open Matt Brown, didn't see him. And that'll be Johnson between the circles. 16:20 to go in the first half. Quakers down by 1. Topalovic on the guard against Matt Brown. Here's Johnson. Fires from 3. Got it. Boy, you're going to have to get up in his face. He just kind of looked at the defender. Once that defender, and I believe it was Kamari Hunter, took a step back, Johnson just nailed it for his second three-pointer. Quakers basketball, 19 on the shot clock. Here's Topalovic. Back out to Ware. Alex now on the right elbow will drive off the glass. Good. Topalovic with his first 2. Quakers down now by 2. Good move by Topalovic. He didn't use his left hand. He went back with the right hand and had the touch. Here is Johnson off the screen. That one is hard off the back of the iron. And Isaiah Ware will find Hunter driving, scoring, and he's fouled. Dolzel picks up the foul. Boy, Kamari Hunter that time. Good body control to lay that one in for 2. And here's a change now for Manchester. Enes Basarvik will come in. Basarvik is out of Fort Wayne. He played at Northrop High School. Basarvik averaging nearly 7 points per game. Here's Hunter at the free throw line, and he got the roll. Another change now for Manchester as Brody Kirby, a 6-foot sophomore out of Frankfort, Indiana, will step into the lineup. Quakers, no changes so far. We have seen the Quakers kind of shorten their bench over the last several ball games. Nice jump hook in the lane by Brown. Brown off to a good start as Manchester takes the 1-point lead. Quakers back into the half court. That's Topalovic on the high post. Topalovic out to Hunter. Still plenty of time in the shot clock with 15. Here's Alexander. Nice turn to the baseline. Draws the double team, and they call him for a travel. Tough call there for Talon Alexander. That was a pretty nice move to the baseline with his left hand. The double team was there. Here's Johnson. Lead pass will find Kirby. Quakers trapped to the near sideline. Here's a shot from the right wing. Three-pointer good by Matt Brown. Boy, he's hot early. So Brown. Now a 4-point lead for Manchester. Quakers turn it over. Bad pass by Topalovic. Here's Johnson inside to Brown. Brown the pass behind him. Scores, and he's fouled. Boy, Brown did a nice job there just to get to that basketball as the pass was a little bit behind him. Now the Quakers down by their biggest deficit so far here this afternoon as they trail it by 6 with 14:23 to go. Here in this first half of play, and the free throw is up and good. A little run put together here by Manchester. The Quakers down by 7. Let's see if they can get a bucket on the board right here. Earlham still has not gone to their bench. They're really letting them play. Jason Polikoff letting these starters get some serious minutes early. Here's Topalovic. Tried to bounce it to Alexander. That'll be a kick basketball by Matt Brown. Manchester will go back to their bench. Again, they don't play a whole lot of guys. Evan Romey comes in. He's out of Anna, Ohio, a 6'3" freshman. But already Manchester's gone about 4 deep on their bench. Alexander on the wing will drive inside. Can't get the runner to go. And the rebound by Basarevic. Here's Johnson. Nice steal there by Zolman. I think it was deflected by Alexander. Alexander was ahead of the field, and they didn't get it to him. 13:44 to go. Ware takes the screen from Zolman. Now it'll be Hunter. He'll get a screen by Alexander. Now it's Topalovic. Back to Alexander on the low baseline. Skip pass intended for Hunter. Goes out of bounds. Last touched. I think it was Brody Kirby, the last to touch it. Masom will come in. Out of Brooklyn, New York. Masom wearing number 2 now for Manchester. Quakers will make a change for the first time. Cole Benet out of Allen, Texas, the 6'6" freshman, checking into the lineup. So the Quakers get a little more size with Zolman and Benet. Here is Ware. Three-pointer off the front of the rim, no good. Basarevic with a rebound. And here come the Manchester Spartans once again. Kirby in the corner will find Romey. Mason will drive and shoot and miss, but he'll be fouled. So Mason goes to the free throw line, just a freshman, 13:10 remaining. Foul's going to be called on Kamari Hunter. That'll be his second. And Mason at the free throw line with 13:10 remaining in the first half. Nick Sands will come in, a very good freshman out of Warsaw, Indiana. He's 5'9" and certainly adjusting to the collegiate game as Sands will check in. Second free throw short, and Sands with a rebound. So the Quakers down by 8.
Let's go, Wake. Be aggressive, Wake.
That is Ware able to push that ball, and nice pass to Benet. Benet turns and lost it. He had a triple team, and then a double dribble at midcourt. Romey trying to get out on the fast break, and Manchester turns it over, and now we will see Elijah Wilson-Thomas come in. We thought that Wilson-Thomas was going to start today, but they started Kamari Hunter and Isaiah Ware. We were here late after the game the other night against Rolls-Hulman, and Elijah Wilson-Thomas was still here shooting after the game. Probably another 45 minutes working on his shot. Benet will give it now to Ware on the right elbow. Ware sets the screen, or I should say Benet sets the screen, receives, shoots, and hits. Quakers down by 6. Here's Kirby out front. Mason now almost losing the basketball. Will give it off now to Kirby. Off the screen will be Romey. And down on the low post is Castile. There's a little jump hook in the lane left short by Basarevic. He goes out of bounds. It'll be Quaker basketball.
Good job, Sands.
Already Nick Sands paying dividends on the defensive side of the floor for the Quakers. Here's Ware once again, gets the screen from Topalovic. Alex will receive once again at the left elbow, drives, double team, shot left short, and the rebound Mason. Here come the Spartans once again. 11:49 to go. Ball loose and a turnover by Manchester. Topalovic able to pick it up. Here's Isaiah Ware down the lane. He got bumped, no whistle, and a shot from the corner. Good, a three-pointer. Elijah Wilson-Thomas. And the Quakers back to within 3. Earlham will be going back to their bench. We'll see LaJay Kelly checking into the lineup. Mason off to the right to Kirby. Good ball movement again by Manchester. Here's Kirby to Mason. Quakers have mixed it up defensively a little bit. This time they'll go man-to-man. That three-pointer's no good, as Kirby can't get it from the top of the key, and Elijah Wilson-Thomas with a rebound. Ware back to Wilson-Thomas, top of the key, off to Sands. We've gone under the 11-minute mark here in the first half. Sands on the drive, nothing there. Back outside to Topalovic, and the Quakers patiently reset it at half court to Ware. 8 on the shot clock. Here's Ware on the drive. He'll get bumped, and that'll be a foul on Manchester. Brody Kirby, the sophomore out of Frankfurt, picks up the foul. Early on, Quakers shooting well at 58%. Manchester at 70%. So both teams shooting well here in the first half of play. LaJay Kelly coming in out of Carson, California, the 6'5 junior. Step back, three-pointer on the way. Good. Elijah Wilson-Thomas. And we're tied at 20. Quakers were down by 8. They've scored the last 8 points. Here's a three-pointer by Castile. Good. Boy, the answer right back. Castile averaging 7.1 points per ball game. Wilson-Thomas looking inside to Benet. Skip pass to Sands. Setting the screen that time was Kelly. Jumper no good. And here come the Spartans. Driving and shooting is Johnson off the glass. Good. So the Quakers score 8. And then Manchester scores 5. Wilson-Thomas. Hands off now to Hunter. That is Johnson on defense. LaJay posting down low, but they push him away from the block. Now Benet gives it off to Wilson-Thomas. Here's Sands on the left wing. 8 on the shot clock. Quakers will have to check it quickly. Hunter back to Kelly. His baseline shot good. And the Quakers will get a 30-second timeout. 25-22. Quakers trail this one by 3.
Summit Computers manufactures their own line of competitively priced workstations and servers with only high-quality parts. They are registered and certified business partners with many manufacturers, distributors, and companies to offer competitive pricing as a value-added reseller. Their experienced technicians have a proven track record and are an invaluable support team for your information technology needs. Contact Summit at 939-2120 and at summit-computers.com.
Good crowd on hand here today, being Alumni Day for the men. Had an alumni game earlier today, as we mentioned at halftime. They will be honoring their alumni that have stayed around. I know a lot of them had to go back home. And the camera guy just unplugged my mixer. Don't move it. Here's Johnson. Back in the ball game will be Brown once again for Manchester. Also returning to the lineup is Brower. That shot on the way, no good, but tipped up by Romy. And Romy with a putback, 27-22. Don't be touching anything over here. Quaker basketball. Here is Hunter. Off now to Wilson-Thomas. That's Kelly on the post. Back out to Wilson-Thomas for 3. Rims in and out. And the rebound by Matt Brown. See, you're doing so well in ambiance, you forgot to not step on the power cord. 8:38 to go. Here's Johnson on the drive. His layup good. Boy, Johnson, he's tough on the outside and He's a slasher as well. Back to a 7-point lead. Quakers had tied it at 20, and they've been outscored 9-2 by Manchester. Hunter back out to Kelly. Kamari at the left elbow, guarded by Johnson, gets the screen by Kelly. Floater in the lane, and they wave it off. So no, they're going to give him the basket. Let's wait and see if they're going to score the bucket. Kamari picks up the foul, and they will say no basket. Ware back in, Alexander back in. He was come back in here for the Spartans. Looks like number 15, that is Brady Dozel, the 6'5" senior out of Tipton. And boy, Tipton having a pretty good year in high school basketball this season. One of the top teams in the state of Indiana. See, the Quakers get a stop right here. Make another run. They had an 8-0 run at one point. Manchester's come back again. They had a 5-0 run and then have outscored the Quakers 9-2 over that span. Here's Johnson. Well, they're working that 2-3 zone. They'll run the baseline. That is Brower. Back out to Johnson. They left him alone. Here's Castile. Skip pass to Brown. Three-pointer, no. And the rebound by Wilson Thomas. Here come the Quakers. They got the stop they needed. Wilson Thomas. Nice ball movement to Alexander. His shot in the corner, good from three. Quakers down by 4. Well, that extra pass really made a difference. Topalovich had it on the elbow and made sure that he made one extra pass, and it opened up. There's Brown. Nice spin to the baseline. His basket good. Boy, Brown, he's another one of those guys, multifaceted from the inside and outside, and he's proven it here in the first half. Here's Alexander. Turnaround jumper, counted. Back to within 4. Under the 7-minute mark here in the first half. Johnson straight away takes the pass from Brower. They're looking for Brown inside. Now, Brown's wide open. In fact, they had 2 wide open players on the wing, and the shot's going to be missed by Brower. Quakers with a rebound, and they'll head the other way. Wilson Thomas now with the basketball. Alexander trying to find position underneath. Slips to the outside. Elijah will pull back, shoot, and miss. Kelly almost had the rebound. Here come the Spartans once again. And Johnson crosses the timeline. Manchester will get a timeout. We will give you ambiance. We will come back in a moment. This is Quaker Basketball on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
The last time I was in for service at Best One, I let Roger know my brakes were squeaking. So they checked them out, and Roger told me it was just a little moisture. Not to worry. Everything was fine. Well, that was just the reassurance I needed. I trust the team at Best One, just like I trust my own dad.
Hi, I'm Roger Clark. At Best One Tire and Service, we only fix what needs to be fixed. When your car or truck leaves our shop, the service you request will be done right. I guarantee it.
Best One Tire and Service, North 7th and A, Uptown Richmond.
Hitters Hangout Academy has everything you need to train year-round to become a better player. They offer everything from cage rentals to private lessons and specialized classes. They offer hitting, infield play, outfield play, catching, pitching, strength, and agility for baseball and softball players alike. Their goal is to leave players with a better understanding of the game and to learn why they do certain things, and as always, play the game the right way. For more information, go to their website, hittershangoutacademy.com. Quakers down by 4 back at the Athletics and Wellness Center. Earlham falling down by 9, but they keep battling back. It'll be Manchester basketball following the timeout. Halftime, of course, we'll give you the first half statistics. Plus, again, they'll be honoring the players, the alumni that played earlier today or have been here today as well as part of the alumni game. That's Brown. His baseline shot no good. And the rebound, Isaiah Ware. Quakers have a chance to cut into that deficit once again. Here's Alexander, top of the key. That's Wilson Thomas in the corner. Now it'll be Topalovich. He'll turn, fire, and hit it. 2-point ball game. Quakers making a run. Right now we're seeing both teams making some pretty serious runs. Here in the first half, Brown off the screen. Brower will kick it back outside to Castile. Castile looking inside once again to Brower. He'll turn, and he traveled with it. Turnover by Manchester. Back in the ball game now for Manchester is Enes Besarovic. Isaiah across the timeline against Johnson. Talon setting that screen. Now will set another screen. Now they'll back away. Here's Wilson Thomas. Nice strong drive. Bucket good. Quakers tied up at 31. Boy, Wilson Thomas saw that he had a mismatch right there with Romy. We'll take that back. That was actually Brower. Brower goes at about 6'7". Here's Johnson. Three-pointers long. Alexander tips it to the baseline, and who did they say it went out? It was going to be Alexander. He, along with Besarovic, fighting for the loose basketball down on the baseline. But it will be Manchester basketball. Now they didn't reset the shot clock, and it should have been. There you go. So they put it back at 30. And a whistle and a foul on Alexander. He was trying to stop Brower from making that cut. Hey, don't forget, we have women's basketball following this one. The Quakers and Manchester playing our doubleheader today in both the men and the women. Besarovic kicks it back outside, and Manchester looking down low again to Besarovic. 21 on the shot clock. Skip pass. Here's Brower for three. Got it. I have a feeling the way this is going today, at least all indications of the first half, that we're going to see these two teams continue to go back and forth. Here's Alexander for three. No. Got the screen he wanted from Topalovic. And here come the Spartans once again. Dolzel inside, and Besarovic can't get it to go. Here come the Quakers. That's Alexander off now to Ware. Now Ware has a mismatch right here again. If he can take Brower off the dribble, he cannot right there, as they'll go to Alexander. Then he slid the pivot foot travel on Alexander. Try to lean into the defender. I think the defender kind of moved back on him a little bit. Quakers make a change. We'll see Kyle Smith, the 5'11 junior out of Nashville, Tennessee. Kyle averaging just under 5 points per game. He's played in now all 17 games this year. A very valuable backup guard off the bench for the Quakers. He brings some experience being a junior. Quakers now a little 1-2-2. Here's a three-pointer from the elbow. That one's off the mark by Dolzel. And we're down to 3:33 to go. Ware up the right sideline against Johnson. Screened by Wilson Thomas. Here's Topalovic off the pass from Ware. Isaiah Ware gets the assist. The Quakers down by one. Johnson to Dolzel. Right wing now to Castile. Nice pass inside. That is Besarovic on the assist. Dolzel with the bucket. And Manchester coming right back. Their big guys can pass pretty well as that ball's knocked out of bounds. And we've got a timeout on the floor. 2:52 remaining in the first half. Quakers down in this one by 3. This is Earlham Basketball and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Do you need help taking care of your car? I know we do, because Troy can barely change the position of the seat. That's why we take our cars to Beach Automotive at 110 East Main Street in Richmond. We've been relying on Brad and his crew for years, and they always take good care of us without breaking the bank. For great auto service by trained professionals, call Beach Automotive at 966-8181 or visit their website at beach-auto.com.
Alrighty, quick update on the standings going into today's action. Bluffton is 9-0. Rose, Hallman, Franklin, and Transylvania all at 7-2. There is a big gap between the top four and the rest of the teams in the HCAC. You have Hanover at 3-6, Manchester. And take that back. That's on the women's side. Let me grab the men's here real quick because I wanted to point out to you that there's a big gap in the standings on the women's side, but not the men's side. The men's standings look a little bit like this, with Mount St. Joe at 8-1. Defiance is 7-2. Hanover at 7-2. Then you have Manchester, Rose, and Transylvania all at 5-4. Anderson at 4-5. So there's quite a group stacked up very close to each other, and this is one of the teams in Manchester that is in that group. Here's Isaiah Ware, 13 on the shot clock. Ware with a crossover to Smith, and then they get Smith on the travel. Try to make the move before putting the ball on the floor, and that'll be a turnover for the Quakers. Earlham still down by 3. Adrian Johnson got off to a hot start in this one. Matt Brown with 15 points in the first half. Johnson with 10. The Quakers led by Talon Alexander with 10. Good ball movement in the corner. Three-pointer up. No good by Dolzel. And the Quakers get it back in the ball game for Earlham. Cheney Zolman. Boy, this freshman right here, Isaiah Ware, has seen his numbers go up from a playing standpoint. And right now you're looking at 3 freshmen on the floor for the Quakers. Here's Smith in the corner for 3. No good. Ball tipped by Topolovich, but coming out with it will be Brower now for Manchester. Down a minute 50 to go here in the first half. There's a foul from behind as the Spartans went back down low. And as Basarevic tried to find position underneath. Only the first foul called on Talon Alexander. Team foul number 6. Manchester just 3 fouls here in the first half. Quakers make a couple of changes. LeJay Kelly coming back in. Sands will come in. Boy, inside off the glass. That is Brower. He had Sands on his hip. Not a whole lot Sands could do right there. And Brower at about 6'7". He had a lot of size on Sands, who only goes 5'9". Quakers nearly turn it over on the near sideline. Skip pass Alexander high to get it. And then Alexander throwing it off the foot that time of Brower. 11 on the shot clock. Cole Benet coming back in. Smith will sit down for the Quakers. And again, hopefully the Quakers right here keep an eye on that shot clock at 11. Sometimes players end up losing track of the amount of time. Here is Ware in the lane, bouncing to Kelly, to Sands in the corner for 3. No. Sands hustling after the basketball, can't come up with it. Here come the Spartans. Dolzel will find Basarevic. Goes out of bounds off the missed shot. It'll be Quaker basketball. 1:03 to go in the first half. Quakers coming back now with Elijah Wilson-Thomas. Sands will sit down. Jason Polikoff in his second year trying to get this program turned around. He knows it's going to take time, and a lot of the players he has recruited for this year. Nice backdoor cut, layup good, and to give LeJay Kelly the assist. Alexander scores, and the Quakers down by 3. Mentioning again with Polikoff bringing in his players, he's starting to make that transition. You can see these freshmen will be very good if they stay with things for the next 3 years. Here is Johnson, no good. Alexander has it knocked out of his hands. Johnson gets it back, goes in the lane, missed it. Battle for on the rebound, and it'll be Wilson-Thomas coming out with it for the Quakers. He goes by Johnson. 19 seconds on the game clock. Shot clock is off. Wilson-Thomas on the right wing. Benet, top of the key to Alexander at the high post. Alexander back to Ware, and they turn it over. So the Quakers can't execute right there, in and out of the hands of Ware. 8.1 remaining. See what'll be set up right here now and there's a blocking foul on the Quakers. And that's going to be Isaiah Ware. You can hear the crowd not agreeing with that call at all. So that'll be the 7th foul on the Quakers, and that'll put Adrian Johnson at the line. Johnson, his first trip to the free throw line is a successful one. Quakers down by 4. Johnson back in for number 2. And the Quakers still have 4 seconds remaining here in the first half. Sands will come in. This will give the Quakers an extra 3-point shooter. And LeJay Kelly slowly walking off the floor. I think LeJay felt he could shoot the 3. Baseball pass by Alexander. Benet fighting for the basketball. We've got a foul call. I think they got Johnson. Manchester could play that ball right there simply because that's only the 4th team foul. 2.7 remaining. And don't be surprised if Manchester may foul again right here to make sure the Quakers don't get a good look. Alexander. Well, Johnson came in, got a piece of it. That was the idea. We made it to halftime. Quakers hanging in there in the first half. We've seen a bevy of runs going both ways. And we'll move on now to halftime. We'll come back in a couple of moments. Your halftime numbers. Also, they'll be honoring many of the alumni that have come back to the Athletics and Wellness Center. We'll do that when we come back in a moment. This is Earlham Basketball on Radio Troy Digital Sport.
It's game time. The Sportsplex is now open. Get your teams together and come out for basketball, volleyball, soccer, tennis, golf, batting cages, wrestling, and much, much more. The Sportsplex also offers court rentals for your entire team to play a pickup game or to hold practices. Use our turf fields for multiple sports, including flag football, baseball fielding, and rugby. Sportsplex is open 7 days a week. Check out FamilyFitnessWorks.com for more information and current hours, or call 765-935-0111.
There's only one place to go on the World Wide Web to find the best automotive deals. Wetzelauto.com. One of the area's largest inventories all in one spot. Wetzelauto.com. Here for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Wetzelauto.com. New and used vehicles, service, parts, body shop, and rental. Plus, value your trade. It's easy to navigate. It's convenient. Wetzelauto.com. It's clickin' awesome.
Reynolds Plumbing, the area's leader in residential and commercial plumbing. Fast, friendly, 24-hour emergency service. You name it, they can fix it. Whether it's installation, remodeling, sump pumps, well pumps, water heaters, or sewer camera service, they now have service on heating and air conditioning. Give them a call at 966-0994 for free estimates. Reynolds Plumbing, 198 South 2nd Street in Richmond.
Are new cabinets on your wish list? Visit the new Georgia Direct showroom and see the great variety of cabinets on display in a modern setting. Georgia Direct carries quality craft-made one cabinets, and the new showroom has plenty of styles and colors on display. In Richmond, craft-made one is only available at Georgia Direct, where the designers are always on hand to help create a custom kitchen for your home. Visit Georgia Direct's new showroom on 40 East, next to Red Lobster. You'll love what you see, and you'll love the savings at Georgia Direct.
Hey, Chuck, where you headed? Spinning's about to start.
I'm heading to CrossFit.
Isn't that for, like, the elite lifters or athletes only?
No, at FFW CrossFit, all workouts can and will be scaled to any ability level to welcome everyone.
Sounds great. I need to get out of the same old workout routine. I'm just not sure I can keep up. It seems pretty intense.
No real lifting experience is needed. FFW CrossFit teaches you everything you need to know and move at your own pace in a positive, motivating environment.
You know, I've always wanted to give it a try. I'll see you there.
Learn more at ffwcrossfit.com.
For over a century, Richmond Power and Light has been providing safe, reliable energy to the citizens and businesses of Richmond and the surrounding area. Through their dedicated and talented employees, Richmond Power and Light is advancing their tradition of exceptional service through new technology, training, and efficiency in everything they do. For more information on Richmond Power and Light, go to their website at rp-l.com. Richmond Power and Light. Together, we make powerful partners.
If you're wanting to be around a team that competes and goes out there every day and pushes you to be your best baseball player, and this is the place to come.
You just get excited to come out here every day. I mean, we got a press box, we got a top-of-the-line facility, top-of-the-line education, great talent, and I mean, there's so much to love here.
This isn't my program. This isn't my assistant's program. This is all of our programs, the players to the coaches, and we're all invested in what goes on here. This is what I call a baseball fraternity. I want to feel like they're a vital part, and every single one of our players are a vital part of what goes on here.
For this program at Earlham, it's more of a family environment. Everybody, there's no cliques or anything. Everybody loves each other just as much. Everybody hangs out with each other on and off the field. We believe in the team first, rather than at a D1 program, people are more worried about their stats. We worry about more as a team aspect, and we'd rather hit 250 and win a conference championship than hit 450 and finish last.
I'll be without you. Surrender.
Earlham's ranked in the top 100 in the nation, school-wise. We got great programs. Teachers know what they're doing. They know you by your name. They don't just know you just because you're an athlete. They want to get to know you. They help you out. And at a D1 school, even D2 schools, there's a bunch of kids in classes, like 70 to 100 kids in a class, and they don't really know your name. They don't care. They just want you to turn in papers. But here, they work with you. They want you to learn more stuff.
If you wanted to expand your horizon of a lot of things, especially the academic part, Earlham is probably the best choice. And to put icing on the cake for baseball, if you love baseball and you love the game and you want to keep playing, Earlham's probably the best place for you. You're blessed with all the facilities, blessed with great coaching staff, and everyth's basically right here in front of you to create the best person you can possibly be through baseball and academics.
My only desire to bridge on division.
First year we had the facility, we went from a 12-27 team to a 21-18 team. Big turnaround, first winning season since 1971, and it wasn't new players coming into the program. We took the players we had in the program and made them better through practice and the facility that we have now that allows us to be out here in bad weather and be able to work in multiple areas and not wear bare spots down in the grass and all that. So this allows us to make the players that we have in the program better by our practices and through those things. Now it helps us recruit a better student athlete with having this facility as well too, so that when a kid sees this, he thinks he's not missing anything by not going to Division I. He's getting that experience here.
We've got one of the best facilities in D3. I can tell you that right now, because this is just as good as Cincinnati. Like, they had a monster at Cincy, we got a monster here. Scoreboard's just as good, turf field's just as good, clubhouse, locker room, cages, everything is just as good as the D1 facility.
Absolutely amazing. You couldn't really get a better facility. I've been to a few D1 programs too. Our facility compares just to like their facility. Playing on an all-turf field is awesome. It has its ups and its downs. Our locker room is amazing. Everybody's always in there. We always like to bond in there. And having the training room right next to it is really easy for after practice. If people need treatment, just hop in there real quick. Won't have to worry about anybody else, any other teams. It's baseball oriented. We get in, we get out, and we go on with our business.
I came to Earlham because the coaching staff is just unbelievable. Coach Sack is just a hell of a coach, and then Coach JB, there's not much he doesn't know. I mean, and it's great to pick their brains.
Our motto, "Earn Not Given," is definitely meant what it is to play for Coach Sack. You know, he goes to bat for us with everything. You know, he always has our back through on and off the field, through thick and thin, anything. He'll go and talk to you about anything, and it's awesome playing for someone who truly cares for you and truly cares for the team.
I love playing for him. I could say he's one of, if not the best coach I've probably ever played for. Even outside of baseball, he's going to fight for us no matter what. Even on the field, he's going to fight for us. If he doesn't think something right, he's going to tell you. He's going to be blunt about it. He holds us all accountable. And I think that's the most important thing, because on the field, we know we're playing for him, and he knows he's coaching for us.
While falling, sleep.
It's not anymore where we have moral victories. We're going out there and we're trying to win as many games as we can to get ourselves in the conference championship, win that conference championship, and play for a national championship.
The group of guys we got coming in all have been a part of winning programs their entire life. So when we all get here, we all have the same goal and the same aspirations to become the best team in the conference.
We want to be as competitive as we can be, and we're going to give them an experience that they're not going to get anywhere else. With the facility, with the academics, with the gear, with everything that encompasses what this program's about, they're not going to get that somewhere else. So you want to be a part of this, jump on early so you can.
There's so much to love here.
Back once again at the Athletics and Wellness Center. Halftime. Let's go ahead and give you some numbers. Quakers trail at 40-35. We start with Manchester. They ended up going 15 of 28 for 54%. From three-point range, they were 6 of 14 for 43% and 4 of 5 from the free throw line in the first half. They finished with 12 rebounds, and the rebound numbers are going to be low because both teams shot extremely well in the first half. So again, 12 rebounds, only 2 offensive rebounds for Manchester in the first half. 10 assists, 5 turnovers, a block, and 2 steals. They were led in scoring in that first half by Matt Brown with 15, Johnson had 12, Castile with 3, Brower with 5, Dolzel with 2. Also, it was Som scoring 1 point in the first half, and also Romy had 2 points in the first half. Quakers, get this, this might be their best shooting half of the entire season. They were 15 of 26, 58%. We just mentioned coming in, if the Quakers can somehow shoot better than their less than 40% average coming in, they're going to give themselves a chance to win, and they're right in this one. 15 of 26, again, 58%. They were 4 of 10 from three-point range, only shot 1 free throw in the first half, 1 of 1. They had 13 rebounds, 1 offensive board, finished with 10 assists, 8 turnovers, no blocks, and 2 steals. Talon Alexander led the team in scoring with 12. Kamari Hunter with 5. Topalovic with 6. Elijah Wilson-Thomas with 8. Cole Benet with 2. And LeJay Kelly also with 2 points in the first half. But it's been a while since we have seen both teams shoot this well, with Manchester at 54% and the Quakers at 58%. When we come back, second half action is coming up in just a few moments. Stay right there. This is Earlham Men's Basketball, Radio Troy Digital Sports.
The dealership where I bought my car told me I needed new tires. So, of course, I stopped by Best One and asked Roger to take a look. So they checked it out, and he told me not yet. He said I was good for at least another 10,000 miles. I've always gotten an honest opinion at Best One, and so will you.
Hi, I'm Roger Clark at Best One Tire and Service. We'll only sell you tires when you need new tires, and they'll be the right tires for your car or truck. I guarantee it.
Best One Tire and Service, North 7th and A, Uptown Richmond.
Students, you'll love what your alumni office can do for you. Take advantage of career and networking opportunities on campus each year, and learn about the support available to you following graduation at earlham.edu/alumni.
If you would like your athlete to take their game to the next level, look no further. New Vision Sports and their staff has over 20 years of experience in coaching and developing the serious-minded athlete. New Vision specializes in improving your basketball skills, overall speed, and agility. Find them on Facebook or Twitter, or give them a call at 765-977-50. If you would like your athlete to take their game to the next level, look no further. New Vision Sports and their staff has over 20 years of experience in coaching and developing the serious-minded athlete. New Vision specializes in improving your basketball skills, overall speed, and agility. Find them on Facebook or Twitter, or give them a call at 765-977-5831. Again, call 765-977-5831, or go to their website at newvisionsports.com.
Injured athletes can be evaluated at Reed Orthopedic Center, 1400 Highland Road in Richmond. Request a same-day or next-day appointment to be evaluated by medical professionals who specialize in strains, sprains, fractures, knee and shoulder injuries, concussions, and other sports-related orthopedic issues. Call 935-8905. That's 935-8905. Or request an appointment online at reedortho.org. Reed Orthopedic Center, 1400 Highland Road in Richmond.
There's a place in Richmond's Depot District that's better than being home. Little Sheba's is a lot like the bar in that 80s TV show where everybody knows your name. Come on down after the game on Fridays and join us for pizza. We're here till 11. Or grab some friends and come play live trivia Thursday nights at 6:30. If you love live music, Little Sheba's features some of the very best every weekend. Where else can you find this kind of variety along with some of the best food and friends in town? Little Sheba's in Richmond's Depot District. It really is better than being home.
There are banks that are big, and then there's West End Bank. A bank with big ideas to help people, business, and industry. If you're just starting out on your own and want a new car, West End can help. Maybe it's your first home and you need advice on financing. West End Bank has ideas to help you. West End Bank, helping build better lives and a better community. West End Bank is a community bank with big ideas and home to a distinctive style of banking. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Back once again here at the Athletics and Wellness Center, ready for the second half. It'll be Manchester basketball. What we have probably for the first time this year, you look at both teams and the way that each team made runs is something we haven't seen very much this year, as Manchester attacking early, as Dolezal can't get that one to fall. It'll be Quaker basketball. First time in the second half. Ware coming off that nice performance in their last contest against Rose. There is the drive by Topalovic, bucket good. So Alex on the board in the second half of the Quakers, back to a three-point ball game. Kamari Hunter out front against Dolezal. Now here's Johnson. Johnson looking for the back door there for Dolezal. He's going to get double teamed. Somehow split the two defenders. Missed the shot and the rebound by Alexander. Quakers have a chance to tie it right here with a three. Topalovic at the left elbow gets the screen from Hunter. Kamari now receives after Topalovic passed up the screen. Alex on the high post. Now we'll find Hunter in the corner. Three-pointer the way good. So the Quakers off to a good start here in the second half. Tie this one at 40. Johnson gliding to his right. Dolezal gets the high screen from Brown. And there's a steal and a foul on Manchester. Hunter with the steal. And the Manchester foul will be called on Blake Brower. Brower will sit down. And Evan Romey will come back in now for Manchester. That is only the first foul on Brower, but he comes out of the lineup immediately. Coach Good didn't like what he saw that time of Brower. Here's Topalovic. Alex trying to drive, gets cut off by Brown. Topalovic will kick it back outside now to Hunter, who checks the shot clock. It's at 10. Here's Ware. Ware against Johnson. Ware spins in the lane, can't get it to go, and the rebound by Brown. This is Johnson. Will wait for help as he sets it up between the circles. He'll go high post. Now to Castile. Brown, the kick. Here's Kirby driving baseline. Back to Brown against Alexander, and that'll be a hand check on Talon. They've done a lot more cutting back on allowing defenders to use their hands and the forearm. I don't know that they've actually eased off of it as the season went along, but it doesn't seem like we have quite as many fouls now as we did early in the season. Boy, someone had to be open right there. Quakers chasing on defense. 17 on the shot clock. Here's Johnson. Nice cut to the basket. Layup good. Romy. Boy, he did a nice job reading the defense, and Johnson able to draw more than one defender, and that opened things up for Romy. Back to a 2-point lead. Topalovic. Now we'll find Cheney Zolman. Now it's Hunter. Alexander now to Topalovic. Alex at 6'5", trying to power his way in, and that foul is going to be called on Matt Brown. Alex Topalovic started his high school basketball in the United States at Richmond High School, ended up at New Creations for his senior year before coming to Earlham. Alexander from 14, it went 13. And here come the Spartans once again. Not a whole lot of transition here when it comes to fast break baskets. Here is Johnson once again. He's going to take it down the lane. Left it short. Might have been partially blocked. Here is Talon Alexander once again. 16:35 remaining here in the second half. Johnson guarding Ware out front. There's Zolman with a screen. Alexander, one dribble, backdoor cut to Zolman, and he'll be fouled on the way up. Romy picks up the foul, and the Quakers head to the free throw line. Cole Benet's coming back in for the Quakers. I believe Elijah Wilson-Thomas checking back in. And here is Cheney Zolman. Zolman out of North Manchester, Indiana. Kamari Hunter will sit down, and Talon Alexander will take a break. Cheney had a very good game 2 games ago against Mount St. Joe. The second one is missed. And we'll stay at a 1-point lead now for Manchester. Quakers have gone 1-2-2, now a little 2-3. Though they're making it look a lot like a matchup. Someone is open in the corner. Here is Kirby, and that's blocked out of bounds. Cole Benet coming over to play defense for the Quakers. Earlham doing a nice job here in this one this afternoon of really chasing defensively. Sometimes a little bit too much. He had 3 jerseys around the ball, and someone had to be open. Here's Johnson, spins, shoots, and gets it right at the buzzer. Hard to believe that young man's only a freshman. Back to a 3-point lead. Here's Isaiah Ware against Johnson. That's Benet, top of the key. Zolman fakes the handoff, now takes it in the lane, shoots it up and misses. A lot of contact underneath. Castile with a rebound. That'll be Johnson. What's interesting about a play like that is they call a lot of hand checks and arm bars, and then you see the contact inside, and certainly looked like Zolman got hit pretty hard, and now a foul call against the Quakers, either Benet or Isaiah Ware, and they're going to get, he put a 4 up.
No different on the other end, Stripes.
Now they say it's Benet. He signaled 24, which would have been Topalovic. Ball loose in the backcourt, and it will be North Manchester, should say Manchester basketball. Romy able to run that one down. 15 minutes remaining, second half. Quakers now back to man-to-man. We've seen again a 1-2-2, a 2-3, and now man-to-man as the Quakers really mixing things up defensively here this afternoon. Johnson against Benet, drives in the lane, off the glass, good. Boy, he is tough. And Adrian Johnson, they list him at 5'11", has now given Manchester a 5-point lead. Topalovic straight away, back to Ware. Manchester extending their defense a little bit on the zone. Shot clock is at 9. Ware may have got away with a travel right there. A steal and a turnover for the Quakers, and Now we've got a foul call, a push off that time by Brody Kirby. Manchester crowd here today, they didn't like that call. They're right behind the Manchester bench. Alexander coming back in for the Quakers.
Hey, be aggressive. Let's go. Come on, White.
Cole Benet will take a seat. So here's Isaiah at the point. Will lob that ball in the corner to Wilson Thomas. Zolman at the top of the key. Manchester, little zone as well. Alexander short arms that shot. It came off the glass. Here is Johnson. Johnson, 2 on, 2 the other way. Basket is good, and he's fouled by Zolman. Boy, Johnson. What an impact he is having. And again, just a freshman. Zolman will sit down. That is his second. Team foul number 3 on the Quakers. And Cole Benet coming back in. And here's again a good look at Adrian Johnson. And now it's a 8-point lead. Quakers have been down by double digits, but they battled back every time. Here's Ware to Benet. Now it'll be Wilson Thomas for 3. Good. And boy, wasting no time. Here's Johnson and an offensive foul. And that time Johnson just a little bit out of control. He's slow to get up, and it looked like Isaiah Ware is the one who took the charge. By the way, Adrian Johnson with 19, Matt Brown with 15. Quakers, here's Alexander, top of the key, 3, no good, and that'll be rebounding foul on Topalovic. Talon, 12 points. Elijah Wilson-Thomas now with 11 for the Quakers. That'll be the 4th team foul now on Earlham for Alex, his first. Under 13 and a half minutes remaining. Johnson, boy, they left him open for a moment. Benet covers up quickly. There's a baseline shot, no good by Kirby. And now the Quakers have a chance to cut into that 5-point deficit. We got a foul away from the basket. That was like 22, Matt Brown right behind Topalovic. Basarevic will come back in. And Brown will sit down. That is his second. Fresh 30 on the shot clock for the Quakers. Benet back to Ware. Baseline jumpers missed. Basarevic with a rebound. Johnson this time really slows things up as he brings it across the timeline, as he'll be paired up there defensively by Isaiah Ware. The Quakers back man-to-man. Off the screen, pull-up jumper, no good by Romy, but an offensive rebound for Johnson. Manchester will get a fresh 30. Off that high screen will be Kirby. Now it's Johnson against Benet. Johnson from 16 nailed it. Well, there's not much so far that you look at Johnson he has not been able to do today, and the Quakers will get a timeout. 12:10 remaining here in the second half. Quakers down in this one, 51-44.
Mancino's Pizza and Grinders, the very best in pizza and grinders. We use only the highest quality meats, cheeses, and vegetables. It's impossible not to taste the difference. Every morning we bake our bread to ensure our customers the freshest sandwiches. Mancino's offers more than grinders. They also have fantastic specialty pizzas and salads. Stop by for lunch, dinner, or after the game. Mancino's, 217 National Road West in Richmond. The taste of quality you expect.
Are you looking for a quality used car you can trust to take you where you want to go? Stop at Tony's Car Sales at 250 National Road West. Tony's has a top-of-the-line selection of low-mileage, one-owner cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs, all handpicked by Mike and Adrian Parker. Tony's is family owned with 3 generations and 60 years of experience. Check out their selection at Tony'sCarSales.com or at 250 National Road West. Tony's Car Sales, where honesty, quality, and price sell cars. A good time out there for the Quakers as Jason Polikoff not wanting this game to slip away. Down by 7 with 12:10 remaining here in the second half. And the Quakers with the basketball. Let's see what they have set up for possible play here for the Quakers. Here's Ware. Topalovic will swing it left side to Wilson Thomas. Back out to Topalovic. And Alex traveled with it. That one, just putting the ball on the floor. Split second earlier will prevent the turnover if the Quakers give it up. You hate to see that right after a timeout as well. Quakers so far here today, turnover-wise, that is the 9th turnover for the Quakers. Nice pass underneath. Johnson will get the assist. There's Basarevic with a bucket. And now the Quakers all of a sudden down by 9. Earlham has played well for a half of the second half, and now they got to pick up the momentum once again after really playing well in the first half. Cross-court pass stolen away by Johnson. Turnover for the Quakers. That ball kicked inside off the pass by Romy. Kamari Hunter checking back in. We'll see Cheney Zolman coming back in for the Quakers. Benet will sit down, and Alexander will take a seat for the Quakers. Again, we'll follow this one up with a women's game. That is scheduled to tip off at around 4 o'clock. Right now, 11-13 remaining in this one, and the Quakers down by their biggest margin since the first half when they'd fallen down by 11. 6 on the shot clock for Johnson, and then Johnson throws it underneath, reverse layup, and they say no, that's a travel by Basarevic. That wasn't a bad move that time by Basarevic. First off, he had to go high to get it off that pass from Johnson. And able to get a reverse layup, but they call him for taking an extra step, so it'll be Quaker basketball. Elijah Wilson-Thomas, he's been quiet in the second half. He'll pull the trigger, top of the key, good. Right when they needed him. Quakers down by 6. Earlham trying to pick up their first win of the season in the conference, and they love to spoil things a little bit here for Manchester. Here's Johnson with the left hand, good. Boy, he's impressive. I would say of any freshman I've seen this year, Adrian Johnson is probably the best of this class, averaging 18 points a game. Here's Ware from three-point range, good. And the Quakers to within 5. LeJay Kelly set to come back in for the Quakers under 10 minutes. So now past the halfway point of this second half. Well, that was a big 3 by Ware. Psychologically, you've got it to 2 possessions now. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Johnson misses from the corner. Topalovic with a rebound for the Quakers. Wilson Thomas will find Ware. That is Topalovic at the high post, now to Hunter. Here is Wilson Thomas, another three-pointer missed. Topalovic going for the offensive rebound, goes off the hands of Basarevic and out of bounds. So Topalovic and Basarevic fighting over the basketball. Alex will come out of the ball game. Looks like a change here for Manchester as well. I believe that's going to be Brower. Brower's checked back in. Brown coming back in as well. And Basarevic will take a seat. Ware will inbound from the baseline. 9:11 remaining in the second half. 55-50. Quakers down by 5. Wilson Thomas, baseline drive, and he'll draw the foul and go to the line for 2. Quakers had only gone to the free throw line one time in the first half. Earlham now 2 of 3 from the free throw line, so neither team has really been to the line a whole lot. The Spartans only 6 times. The Quakers have been there only 3 times. And it's back to a 4-point ball game. Brown's going to come out of the ball game with his 3rd foul. Castile back in, the junior out of Monrovia. And Wilson Thomas, his free throw good, and Earlham right back within striking range, only down by 3. See what now Manchester has set up here for the Quakers. Earlham goes back into their zone. This more of a matchup right here. Here's Johnson. Reads it, hooks that pass inside the kick. 6 on the shot clock. Baseline. And again, wide open here is Dolzel, and he can't get it to go. And the rebound, Cheney Zolman. Pretty good ball movement that time for Manchester. Just couldn't finish. And then Hunter back the other way. He'll be fouled. Dolzel will pick up the foul. Kamari Hunter to the line for the Quakers. Hunter leaving that one short. He is an 80% free throw shooter. He's only been to the line, though, 20 times this year. Quakers as a team have only been to the free throw line 251 times. Their opponents at 334. Second free throw good. The Quakers down by 2, and we're at 8:27 to go here in the second half. Manchester working against the zone. Quakers good rotation with their defense. There's Johnson. Boy, Johnson again coming up with a big bucket. Again, just a freshman. I think Quakers have to see him for the next 3 years. Here's Hunter. You know this is a big game when Jeff Lane shows up. Here's Hunter once again to Ware on the right wing. 12 on the shot clock. Here's a left-hand shot, no good by LeJay Kelly, and Manchester with the basketball. Quakers down by 4. We will see Alex Topolovich come back in. Quakers have switched back to man-to-man. They're mixing it up well here in the second half, and a drive and a foul call. And they'll get that before the shot. That'll be Elijah Wilson-Thomas. So here's Topolovich back in. And setting down will be Cheney Zolman. Johnson on the inbound. Watch him get it back. You got to keep an eye on Johnson no matter where he has been on the floor today. Johnson with 21 points. There's Johnson on the drive, the kick. Boy, Quakers really covering up well defensively, and they force the turnover by Castile. (7-11). Quakers get a bucket right here. Back to a one-possession game. Here's Hunter. The screen from Topolovich. Ware hit a 3 earlier, tries it again, missed that one off the back of the iron, and the rebound by Dolzel. And Manchester once again trying to extend the lead. Here's Johnson. Takes the screen, pull-up baseline jumper, missed it. LeJay Kelly trying to get the rebound, and they'll blow that one dead. We've got a jump ball, and it'll be Quaker basketball. Kalen Alexander set to come back in. LeJay Kelly will take a seat. Now we're down to 6:35. That is Ware across the timeline. Now to Hunter. Wilson Thomas behind the back dribble. 15-footer. Good. And it's a 2-point ball game. Boy, crunch time coming, and as we said, we thought this one, the way the first half was going, we may come right down to the very last minute. The way each team continues to make a run. Johnson on the low baseline. The kick. Here's a three-pointer. Good. Big bucket there by Dozel. And Earlham down by 5. Well, that was read well and good passing by Manchester. Elijah pulls up from 3 again. Got another one. And we've got a timeout on the floor. 5:45 remaining. Quakers down by 2. This is Earlham Basketball and Radio Troy Digital Sports. Hitters Hangout Academy has everything you need to train year-round to become a better player. They offer everything from cage rentals to private lessons and specialized classes. They offer hitting, infield play, outfield play, catching, pitching, strength, and agility for baseball and softball players alike. Their goal is to leave players with a better understanding of the game and to learn why they do certain things, and as always, play the game the right way. For more information, go to their website, hittershangoutacademy.com.
It's game time. The Sportsplex is now open. Get your teams together and come out for basketball, volleyball, soccer, tennis, golf, batting cages, wrestling, and much, much more. The Sportsplex also offers court rentals for your entire team to play a pickup game or to hold practices. Use our turf fields for multiple sports, including flag football, baseball fielding, and rugby. Sportsplex is open 7 days a week. Check out FamilyFitnessWorks.com for more information and current hours, or call 765-935-0111.
Well, for the Quakers, Elijah Wilson Thomas coming up with some big baskets. He now leads the Quakers with 21 points. Adrian Johnson leading Manchester with 25. And we mentioned Elijah was in this gym late the other night after the game shooting, and it has proven to be the difference here tonight. 7 of 10, 5 of 7 from three-point range. And so Elijah Wilson Thomas putting in the extra work, and he is doing it here today. Quakers down by 2. Manchester basketball. Brown back in. Left it short. And a rebounding foul, and I think they got Brown. And we will shoot the one in bonus. That is team foul number 9 now on Manchester. And here's Talon Alexander. Talon with 12 points. This is his first trip to the free throw line. Talon, the senior out of Champaign, hits the first one. Quakers down by 1, 5:31 remaining. And we'll have the women's game next. We'll take a short break, and then we'll tip that one off at around 4 o'clock. Second free throw is good, knotted at 60. Well, the Quakers were down by 9 just moments ago, and they battled back to tie this one. This one reminds you of the game the other night, which the Quakers lost to Rose-Hulman, but they battled the entire ball game before losing by 9. But defensively, they've held Manchester to just 60 points in this one. He in the lane, pull-up shot, no good. Johnson with a long rebound up the miss by Castile. Quakers back into their man-to-man. Here's Johnson. He draws the double team. Skip past Dozel, and they'll kick it inside now to Brower. Back once again to Castile. 10 seconds on the shot clock. It'll be Johnson. Johnson checking the shot clock. Drives baseline. Shot fake. Pull-up jumper. Good. Johnson with a big bucket. And Johnson now giving Manchester the 2-point lead, and Johnson now with 27 points. Quaker basketball down by 2, and I think we have an offensive foul. Elijah Wilson Thomas will pick up the offensive foul, and that's a turnover now for the Quakers. So that's a huge call against Earlham with 4:19 remaining. See if the Quakers can get a stop right here. Back in the ball game is Besarovic. Besarovic off the glass, no. Tip, no by Brower. And the Quakers get it back. This really favors Earlham from a standpoint of they've given up on the year. 78 points a game. 3-pointer by Elijah Wilson Thomas, no good. And Besarovic with a rebound. They've been giving up 78 points per game, and right now Manchester with just 62. Johnson, the high screen from Besarovic. Skip pass on the left wing. His Castile fires and misses. Alexander with a rebound. And for the third straight time now, the Quakers will look to tie or get the lead, and Earlham's going to call a timeout. 3:22 remaining. Quakers down by 2. This is Earlham basketball and Radio Troy Digital Sports. Summit Computers manufactures their own line of competitively priced workstations and servers with only high-quality parts. They are registered and certified business partners with many manufacturers, distributors, and companies to offer competitive pricing as a value-added reseller. Their experienced technicians have a proven track record and are an invaluable support team for your information technology needs. Contact Summit at 939-2120 and at summit-computers.com. Now Quakers get a timeout, trailing it by 2 with 3:22 remaining. Well, there you see a hot hand. That is Adrian Johnson. He leads all scorers here this afternoon. He's had one heck of a ball game. Johnson with 27. Wilson Thomas leading the Quakers with 21. And that is Wilson Thomas as Manchester, they go man-to-man. Wilson Thomas driving, lost it, back to Ware. Floater off the glass, good. Boys, a loose basketball, and Isaiah Ware able to grab that one and lay it in. And now with 3 minutes to go, we're tied at 62. We'll see Topalovic come back in. Here's a shot with the right hand, good. And Dolzel able to sneak inside, and Johnson found him. The Quakers doubled up front and got the ball out of the hands of Johnson. Now Earlham down by 2. Alexander at the top, looking down low, possibly Zolman, but Zolman moves out on the left wing. Here's Talon inside, the kick. Ware, 9 on the shot clock. Talon for 3, good. And the Quakers take the lead, 65-64. 2 minutes and 15 seconds remaining. Here's Johnson, who's going to come up big now. Off the glass, no. Rebound Ware. Quakers basketball. Might have been forced that time by Johnson. Ware will cross the timeline, and now we'll set it up at Wilson Thomas. Quakers smelling upset here, trying to pick up their first win in the conference. Here is Hunter, 3-pointer. Can't get it to go. Rebound by Manchester. Ball loose, and eventually picked up by Dolzel. Here's Johnson. He'll drive to the baseline. And that should be a travel, and it is on Brower. Topalovic back in with 1:37 remaining. And Chaney Zolman will sit down. Boy, you look at this ball game from a shooting standpoint. We've talked about it all year long. Quakers, if they can shoot much better percentage-wise, they're going to win a lot of games. They're at 52%, and there's another timeout on the floor. Quakers on top by 1. 1:37 remaining. This is Earlham basketball and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Hey, Chuck, where you headed? Spinning's about to start.
I'm heading to CrossFit.
Isn't that for, like, the elite lifters or athletes only?
No, at FFW CrossFit, all workouts can and will be scaled to any ability level to welcome everyone.
Sounds great. I need to get out of the same old workout routine. I'm just not sure I can keep up. It seems pretty intense.
No real lifting experience is needed. FFW CrossFit teaches you everything you need to know and move at your own pace in a positive, motivating environment.
You know, I've always wanted to give it a try. I'll see you there.
Learn more at ffwcrossfit.com.
For over a century, Richmond Power and Light has been providing safe, reliable energy to the citizens and businesses of Richmond and the surrounding area. Through their dedicated and talented employees, Richmond Power and Light is advancing their tradition of exceptional service through new technology, training, and efficiency in everything they do. For more information on Richmond Power and Light, go to their website at rp-l.com. Richmond Power and Light. Together, we make powerful partners. Well, the Quakers a minute 37 away from getting a huge win here today, and Earlham has come close in so many games this season, but have not shown, from a standpoint of holding on to close games, an ability to win. So let's see if they can do it here today. 19 on the shot clock. You're talking about a minute and 6 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock. No matter what happens here, Manchester's going to get the ball back. Ware on the 1-4 low. Off now to Wilson Thomas. Drives down the lane. Stripped out of his hands by Johnson. Big turnover for the Quakers. Now it'll be Johnson. 1:05 remaining. Here's Johnson. Crossover. Feeds down low. Reverse layup. Missed it. The tip no good. Alexander comes away with it. Boy, Basarevic had it right there. Couldn't get it to fall. Quakers basketball. 47 seconds remaining. 18 on the shot clock. Wilson Thomas on the wing against Johnson. Keep an eye here as the Quakers running it down to 10. They'll try to spread the floor. That's Topalovic setting the high screen. Wilson Thomas on the drive. Floater, no. Rebound by Brower. And then Brower called for a travel. Well, they can shut the shot clock off as there's 29 seconds remaining and a timeout on the floor. You know at this stage that Manchester may let that clock run a little bit, but they want to have some time remaining. We'll take a timeout as well. 29 seconds to go. Quakers up by 1. Jiffy Lube of Richmond features the Jiffy Lube Signature Service Oil Change. As much as you paid for your vehicle, keep it on the road as long as possible. The Jiffy Lube Signature Service Oil Change is more than an oil change. It's preventative maintenance to keep your car running smoothly. Jiffy Lube, 2993 East Main in Richmond. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 6, and Saturday, 8 to 5.
Hey, alumni! Wondering how you can stay connected to Earlham? The Alumni Office is here to make the connection last by organizing events in your area, representing alumni voices on campus, and helping you get connected to resources across our global community.
Question is, what do you do right here? You can hold the basketball. Quakers do not need to shoot it. And right now, Manchester, I would imagine, will try to foul after a certain amount of seconds come off the clock. They want to have a chance to get the basketball back. As Isaiah Ware will inbound, it'll be Topalovic. Now to Alexander. There's your foul. So they fouled immediately. And they got Talon Alexander, the senior. Castile picks up the foul. So here is Talon Alexander, and Talon on the day 2 for 2. Quakers haven't been to the free throw line very much today, but Talon is a perfect 2 of 2 from the line, and he missed the front end of 2. 26.3 remaining. And Talon back in for his second. Quakers now with 16 fouls. The next one will put Manchester at the line for the one and bonus. That one is good. So now Earlham with a 2-point lead and Manchester with a basketball. Will it be this guy right here, Adrian Johnson? And we will have to wait and see. 18.8. Manchester's looking to see what Earlham is going to do defensively. We'll take a timeout. Quakers lead it by 2.
One place to go on the World Wide Web to find the best automotive deals. Wetzelauto.com. One of the area's largest inventories all in one spot. Wetzelauto.com. Here for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Wetzelauto.com. New and used vehicles, service, parts, body shop, and rental. Plus, value your trade. It's easy to navigate. It's convenient. Wetzelauto.com. It's clickin' awesome.
Reynolds Plumbing, the area's leader in residential and commercial plumbing. Fast, friendly, 24-hour emergency service. You name it, they can fix it. Whether it's installation, remodeling, sump pumps, well pumps, water heaters, or sewer camera service, they now have service on heating and air conditioning. Give them a call at 966-0994 for free estimates. Reynolds Plumbing, 198 South 2nd Street in Richmond. Quakers on top, 66-64, and Earlham now needs to get a stop right here. Manchester called the timeout. We will have to wait and see what they're planning to do. Do they go for the win or do they go for the tie and try to send this one into overtime? That's Johnson. He's had the hot hand. Johnson spins baseline right, scores, ties the ball game at 66. 8 seconds remaining. 6 seconds. Here's Ware. Ware will drive, and he gets hammered. No whistle. The ball goes out of bounds. And I'll tell you what, Jason Polikoff has every reason to be upset. One player goes down. That's Castile for Manchester. He took one in the solar plexus. 2.1 remaining. Quakers we've got another timeout on the floor, this time by Manchester. 2.1 to go. We're tied at 66.
Our new cabinets on your wish list? Visit the new Georgia Direct showroom and see the great variety of cabinets on display in a modern setting. Georgia Direct carries quality craft-made one cabinets, and the new showroom has plenty of styles and colors on display. In Richmond, craft-made one is only available at Georgia Direct, where the designers are always on hand to help create a custom kitchen for your home. Visit Georgia Direct's new showroom on 40 East, next to Red Lobster. You'll love what you see, and you'll love the savings at Georgia Direct.
Now Quakers, 2.1 to go. See what the Quakers have set up right here. Ware will inbound from the baseline, and that will be right back to the Quakers. That goes out of bounds off Castile. So Earlham will try it again. I think they were looking for Wilson Thomas to cut down the lane, and the one official to the near side now talking with Adrian Johnson. They have put Castile at 6'6" on the inbound. Alexander, and wait a minute, they wave it off, and they call an offensive foul on Alexander. They said Talon extended that left arm, and the Quakers give it back. 1 second to go. Boy, he hit the shot, too. As to say, with an offensive foul, you do not shoot. The one in bonus. Boy, tough break for the Quakers right there. You thought it was going to be a foul as well on the Isaiah Ware drive. Baseball pass to the other end, and Benet saves it, and he probably should have let it go out of bounds. Quakers would have had it underneath their own basket if he lets it go out of bounds, but Benet decides to save it. We will go to overtime. Tied at 66. Quakers And the Spartans will play some free basketball. Stay right there. This Earlham Men's basketball and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Do you need help taking care of your car? I know we do, because Troy can barely change the position of the seat. That's why we take our cars to Beach Automotive at 110 East Main Street in Richmond. We've been relying on Brad and his crew for years, and they always take good care of us without breaking the bank. For great auto service by trained professionals, call Beach Automotive at 966-8181 or visit their website at beach-auto.com.
Maybe you haven't heard, but there's a place in Richmond's Depot District that's better than being home. Little Sheba's is a lot like the bar in that 80s TV show Cheers. You know, where everybody knows your name. Come on down after the game on Fridays and join us for pizza. We're here till 11. Or grab some of your friends and try out a game of live trivia Thursday nights at 6:30. If you love live music, Little Sheba's features some of the very best every weekend. Where else are you going to find this kind of variety, along with some of the best food and friends in town? Little Sheba's in Richmond's Depot District. It really is better than being home.
Well, 5 minutes of extra basketball as the Quakers and the Spartans tied at 66 in regulation. Here we go. And well, I tell you what, Quakers really thought they had that foul toward the end of the ball game on Isaiah Ware, and just couldn't get something to go their way, so we will play an extra 5 minutes. There's Johnson with a steal. Johnson back the other way for the Spartans, and he'll score. Boy, big turnover there for the Quakers. And now Earlham down by 2 here in overtime. By the way, Earlham has not played in overtime this year. And that one goes out of bounds, and another Quaker turnover. So 2 turnovers to start the overtime. Manchester, they've played 1 overtime game this year. They lost that one on the road at Tri, 76-73. Alexander coming out of the Quaker lineup. And now Manchester will try to take control of this one. Here's Brown. Brown, nice spin, touch inside, and the first 4 points scored by Manchester. And just like that, the Quakers down by 4. Here's Isaiah Ware as he works against Kirby. Topalovic on the high post. Ball stripped out of his hands and goes out of bounds, and the Quakers will keep it. Not a good way, and that's Mr. Obvious speaking right here. You start out your overtime with 2 turnovers, and they both lead to baskets, and now the Quakers have to fight an uphill battle here in the overtime, though it's only 4. You only play 5 minutes, and that's a travel. 3 turnovers here in the overtime for Earlham.
Come on, Lord, we gotta finish.
So now Manchester in control of this one. Check here real quick as Brown receives that one. Quakers now with 17 turnovers, but 3 of those coming here in the first couple of minutes of overtime. Baseline shot no good as Dolzel can't get it to go. It goes out of bounds, and it will be Quaker basketball. So this will be the 4th possession now for the Quakers. And again, 3 turnovers. Got to get something going right here. 3:27 to go. Ware across the timeline. Wilson Thomas off the screen. Entry pass will find Topalovic. Alex will find Ware in the corner for 3. No. And the rebound by Castile. Here come the Spartans once again. Johnson down the lane. Left hand counted. And the Quakers may need to get a timeout right here. Down by 6. And they get the timeout. Quakers, 3 turnovers and a missed shot. And the first 6 points scored by Manchester in overtime and the Quakers trail this one 72-66.
Last time I was in for service at Best One, I let Roger know my brakes were squeaking. So they checked them out, and Roger told me it was just a little moisture. Not to worry, everything was fine. Well, that was just the reassurance I needed. I trust the team at Best One, just like I trust my own dad.
Hi, I'm Roger Clark. At Best One Tire and Service, we only fix what needs to be fixed. When your car or truck leaves our shop, the service you request will be done right. I guarantee it.
Best One Tire and Service, North 7th and A, Uptown Richmond.
If you would like your athlete to take their game to the next level, look no further. New Vision Sports and their staff has over 20 years of experience in coaching and developing the serious-minded athlete. New Vision specializes in improving your basketball skills, overall speed, and agility. Find them on Facebook or Twitter, or give them a call at 765-977-5831. Again, call 765-977-5831, or go to their website at newvisionsports.com. Earlham down in overtime, 2:57 remaining, down by 6. Everything has gone Manchester's way here in the first half of overtime. Quakers with a missed shot and 3 turnovers, and the first 6 points scored by the Spartans, and that has been the name of this one so far. Benet back in the ball game. Hunter will feed Alexander. Talon looking for an opening, back outside to Ware. Now it'll be Hunter. Hunter, floater in the lane, good. Quakers finally get on the board in overtime. Now Earlham down by 4, 2:34 remaining. And now let's see what Manchester will begin. We've seen it. It's a game of runs. In the lane, missing the shot off the glass is Kirby. And Kirby goes to the line. I think they got Benet on the foul. Kirby so far on the afternoon. As he hits the free throw, Kirby with his first point. By the way, Adrian Johnson with 33 here this afternoon for Manchester. Quakers now down by 5, and the second one is missed. So now the Quakers go to work offensively. 2:20 to go. Zolman with a screen. Here's Ware. Drive, scores, and is fouled. I think they got Brown on the foul. And Brown just fouled out. Back in the ball game will be, well, that's Kirby still in. Did they make the change yet? They have not. I don't think they've decided who they're going to go with. Looks like it's going to be Basarevic. Brown leaving the ball game here this afternoon. 17 points. He played well in the first half, but didn't do much in the second half and in the overtime. And here's Isaiah Ware at the free throw line, and it's back to a 2-point ball game. Well, again, the way this game has gone, you knew that even a 6-point lead was not going to be safe in the overtime. So now Manchester basketball. Quakers go man-to-man. Johnson off on the high post now to Castile. Skip pass on to the left wing. That's Dozel. He'll drive. Right-hand short hook. Missed it. And coming out with it, Ware. Quakers have a chance to tie. 1:47 to go. Ware will find Elijah Wilson-Thomas for 3. Got it. Elijah Wilson-Thomas with a huge 3, and the Quakers lead it by 1. Manchester, 18 on the shot clock. What will they do now? Crowd getting into it here this afternoon. Probably the best crowd the Quakers have had all season. Johnson, top of the key. 3 on the shot clock. Releasing as Castile hits a 3. Boy, he had about a second and a half remaining on the shot clock, and a big 3 by Castile. Under a minute remaining. Quakers now down by 2. Zolman sets the screen for Ware. Alexander also coming up to screen. Ware with a crossover to the left hand. Stops, fakes, turns, shoots, misses. Rebound by Besarovic. And now the Quakers will have to get the ball back. Foul right here. And they do not yet. And Manchester calls a timeout. Brody Kirby thought he got fouled. And so now, what will Manchester do? This will be a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here for this timeout. If you're the Quakers, you foul immediately. We'll look and see it. I'm going to try to look for somebody to foul right now that might be on the floor. Dolzel is at 64%. If you're going to get somebody, get Besarovic. He is at 61%. Now, I will have a feeling here. Well, Besarovic's not even going to stay in the ball game. They've gotten him out. They know he's not a good free throw shooter. Looks like they brought Romy back in. Now, Romy's at 71%, so that's a heck of a lot better than 61%, so that's why Besarovic now leaves the ball game and will go to the bench. That was a move you could see immediately being made by Coach Good and his staff in his first year at Manchester. And now they've called it a 1-minute timeout. We thought it was a 30 at the beginning. Women's basketball is next. Earlham at 4-12. Manchester at 5-11. Earlham 2-7 in the HCAC. Manchester at 3-6. Should be a very even ball game. But the Earlham women's team, and they've played much better over the last couple of ball games. Sands in for the Quakers. Benet, Topalovic, Zolman, as well as Wilson Thomas. Manchester will dump into the backcourt. How long? Well, the Quakers have about a 16-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. But the question is, how long do you wait?
Come on, Nick. Come on, Nick.
Sands trying to jump over the screen. Here's Johnson. Now forcing it at the last minute. Air ball. And Castile, and I don't think that's probably what Coach Good drew up. Besarovic back in. Quakers coming back with Talon Alexander. Zolman will sit down, as will Benet. So the Quakers now with Alexander. We're going to get another timeout. We'll take a timeout as well. Quakers 18.7 remaining. Trail this one by 2. This is Earlham basketball and Radio Troy Digital Sports.
Injured athletes can be evaluated at Reed Orthopedic Center, 1400 Highland Road in Richmond. Request a same-day or next-day appointment to be evaluated by medical professionals who specialize in strains, sprains, fractures, knee and shoulder injuries, concussions, and other sports-related orthopedic issues. Call 935-8905. That's 935-8905. Or request an appointment online at reedortho.org. Reed Orthopedic Center, 1400 Highland Road in Richmond.
18.7 remaining back at the Athletics and Wellness Center. Manchester, they're going to full court trap right here, press man-to-man, and try to slow the Quakers down getting into their half-court offense. Here's Ware. 12 seconds remaining. Alexander with a high screen. Talon takes the top of the key, now drives in the lane. Shot's no good. Rebound Manchester, and a foul will be called on, who'd they get? Zolman? Boy, Talon had a pretty good look, just couldn't put it in, though he tried to draw the contact. And they will get Zolman, I believe, on the foul.
That is horrible.
Here, the Earlham crowd not happy with that. No call on the drive by Alexander. Besarovic will go to the line for Zolman, his third. 4.4 remaining. And this guy's only a 61% free throw shooter. He misses. 3 seconds remaining. Here's Elijah Wilson-Thomas. 1 second. Alexander at the buzzer. Can't get it, and the Quakers will lose this one in overtime. Boy, what a tough one for the Quakers here this afternoon as they lose this one by a final of 76-74. We'll come back with your final numbers in just a couple of moments. This has been Earlham Men's Basketball on Radio Troy Digital Sports.
There's a place in Richmond's Depot District that's better than being home. Little Sheba's is a lot like the bar in that 80s TV show where everybody knows your name. Come on down after the game on Fridays and join us for pizza. We're here till 11. Or grab some friends and come play live trivia Thursday nights at 6:30. If you love live music, Little Sheba's features some of the very best every weekend. Where else can you find this kind of variety along with some of the best food and friends in town? Little Sheba's in Richmond's Depot District. It really is better than being home.
Jiffy Lube of Richmond features the Jiffy Lube Signature Service Oil Change. As much as you paid for your vehicle, keep it on the road as long as possible. The Jiffy Lube Signature Service Oil Change is more than an oil change. It's preventative maintenance to keep your car running smoothly. Jiffy Lube, 2993 East Main in Richmond. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 6, and Saturday, 8 to 5.
Mancino's Pizza and Grinders, the very best in pizza and grinders. We use only the highest quality meats, cheeses, and vegetables. It's impossible not to taste the difference. Every morning we bake our bread to ensure our customers the freshest sandwiches. Mancino's offers more than grinders. They also have fantastic specialty pizzas and salads. Stop by for lunch, dinner, or after the game. Mancino's, 217 National Road West in Richmond. The taste of quality you expect.
Summit Computers manufactures their own line of competitively priced workstations and servers with only high-quality parts. They are registered and certified business partners with many manufacturers, distributors, and companies to offer competitive pricing as a value-added. Summit Computers manufactures their own line of competitively priced workstations and servers with only high-quality parts. They are registered and certified business partners with many manufacturers, distributors, and companies to offer competitive pricing as a value-added reseller. Their experienced technicians have a proven track record and are an invaluable support team for your information technology needs. Contact Summit at 939-2120 and at summit-computers.com. Well, Earlham Men lose a tough one here this afternoon, 76-74. Quakers with the loss, now 0-10 in conference play. They're 1-16 overall for Manchester with their win. They've improved to 9-8 overall and 6-4 in conference play. Here are the final numbers of the men's contest here today. Real quick, let's jump over here. Quakers ended up shooting 51%. They were 27 of 53 on the day. Manchester 31 of 62, good enough for 50%. Earlham 11 of 23 from three-point range, good enough for 48%. And Manchester was 8 of 21 for 38%. The Quakers 9 of 12 from the line. And Manchester 6 of 9. Quakers out-rebounded Manchester today 31-29. Quakers turned it over 17 times, and Manchester with 12 turnovers. Largest lead for the Quakers, 2. Manchester, their largest lead officially, 9. And there were 7 ties and 11 lead changes in the ball game here today. Adrian Johnson led Manchester with 33 points. Matt Brown finished with 17. The Quakers were led by Elijah Wilson-Thomas with 24 off the bench, 18 by Talon Alexander, and Kamari Hunter finished with 11. Quakers on the road to Transylvania their next time out. Check here real quick when the Quakers will be home next. After the Transylvania matchup, they go to Franklin on January 30th. They won't be back home until they play Defiance on February 3rd. That is a 7:30 game time. We'll have it for you right here on Radio Troy Digital Sports. But again, your final score, Manchester in overtime beats Earlham 76-74. Thanks for being with us. This has been Earlham Men's Basketball, Radio Troy Digital Sports.